Alright, welcome back to Starcraft 2 visual novel. Right, once we've got 4 players and some management, we're going to pick OK. Blink once, look away, take a tactical pause. Oh, if your mom will let you move out, that is. He rises to my bait and straightens up, both fists clench. You're damn straight, she's going to let me. Alright, concern me signed. If I've got the room and enough money to pay for food, we're in business. Stan pauses and lowers himself from the tips of his toes. What's the team called, by the way? Like I said, it's a work in progress. I'll let you know when it's picked out. If we're not named yet, I want to say it yet. How about the Zurp Blaze Phoenix Snipers? What even? Kid, this isn't shown in anime. Yeah, probably not. While Star revolts and after being signed in the Starcraft team, a thought occurs to me. Wait, don't you go to school? Let's just say I'm in schools right now. I don't bother trying to divulge any more information. If he can live in the team house and perform, that's good enough for me. Some promising young pros deferred school from Broodor back in the day, and if Starcraft doesn't work out for him, at least he's got the future cleaning up stomping grounds. Right, the mysteries won't last for long, I promise. I'll be in touch. I need to show up somewhere. Okay, I'm going to hit you for practice games tonight. If that's cool, be online. Sounds good. Welcome aboard. The fiery protest player lifts its chin for a final grim before heading into one of the PC Bag's back rooms. Probably to gather a broom and dustpan. I grace Stun's mom with an innocent expression on my way out. She answers my smile with a glare sharp enough to make the hair on the back of my neck stand up. I step outside and suck in a deep breath of relief. The warm afternoon air is sweet and feels good in my lungs. 1 down, 1 to go. The stairways to my apartment was empty as usual. Sometimes it feels like I'm the only person living in this building. Isolation was a major concern when I was first thinking about coming overseas. If my Korean wasn't passable, I'd be practically impossible for me to be anything but lonely. That's something I won't need to worry about anymore, I suppose. Seoul's proven to be vibrant, crowded, and busy. Everything in my life back home wasn't. Something as simple as crossing the street can be exciting for someone who has never been in an urban environment for more than a few hours at a time. It sounds stupid, but it's true. Still, before meeting Axel and Jet, I barely talked to anyone offline. Starcraft's one-on-one nature doesn't exactly lend itself to social introductions. It would be easy to get in touch with the foreigner community out here, but I have very little desire to skulk around bars with jaded English teachers and washed-up businessmen. Why bother? I sink into my chair and jam the spacebar a few times to wake my PC. I practice enough at Golden Zone Fire after recruiting stunt, so I don't bother loading up Starcraft. Jet was pleased to hear about my new pickup, told me it was smart to hold off on telling Stunt who she was too. I'm sure she'll announce her plans on her own time. She'll have to once we've picked up our last player at any rate. With a few clicks, I'm staring at the common Starcraft fan site. The most interesting stuff that goes on in the scene gets posted here. And while people vote as best rises to the top of the page. I don't often visit the Korean community sites. I like them just fine, but I prefer reading English when I get the chance. But no matter, when you choose to get your Starcraft news, you'll find no shortage of net citizens sharing their opinions on which players offer or why the game is imbalanced. Today seems to be no exception. A foreign pro gamer just called it quits, and the comments about them are ridiculously scathing. Sure, he was underperforming recently, but people forget just how much time and passion gets put into even a mediocre professional's career. The worst part is that most people talking smack are either low leaguers or don't play the game at all. I take out my phone, hoping to find someone on it to distract me from the mindless madness. No text, no new emails, same as when I last checked 15 minutes ago. It's been a while since I chatted with my friends from back home. Most of them know about my esports aspiration, but none of them really get it. There's still reactions when someone learns that you play video games full time. Either they roll their eyes or they tell you how lucky you are. Yes. Or they are incredibly impressed. Really, that's a reaction I get, to be honest. Though I tell them I make YouTube videos full time anyway. I've tried to explain to the latter that playing Starcraft really isn't fun in the traditional sense. Yes, when it can be satisfying, but the game is stressful to actually be called fun, at least for me, and I fully agree. It beats a boring minimum wage job, but sure as hell isn't easy and pays less for all but the best. Yeah, they don't mention that between games on Star League streams. Pretty much everyone I went to high school with is enrolled in college. When I hear about their great social lives and internships, I can't help but feel jealous. I'll probably end up going eventually. It's not like I can make a living from games when I'm 30. You would be wrong. 5 or 6 years of Starcraft, and then you're left with dregs of your prize monies and sore wrists, and hopefully some friends and fond memories. With a look back at the computer screen, I notice that my inbox has a message awaiting. Click and I'm staring at one... and that's wrong, at a piece of hate mail, one of several I've received this month. I'm streaming while I noticed. Did you finally realize people only watch you? Why don't you get good and come back once you win something? I don't know why you bother blocking me. I'm going to keep making new accounts no matter what. Something I've had to deal with pretty much for my entire life, but things are really amped up when my stream hit 500 viewers for the first time. There's not much to say other than I'm used to this sort of thing by now. I'll quit streaming to focus on improving for my own sake, not for the idiots that send me stuff like this. At least that's what I tell myself. It's hard to know for sure. Most people who follow Starcraft know less about the game itself than they do about people playing it. I don't like that I'm expected to constantly bear the scrutiny of strangers. The community keeps the scene alive. I know it's wrong to loathe it, but simply knowing that doesn't make it any easier not to. With an impatient click, my PC groans off. I cling under the sheets and settle in for an early night's rest. The search continues tomorrow. Wake to the sound of rain against my window, judging me on lights morning. Dawns on me that I was supposed to play stunt in a few practice games last night. Whoops, probably not a great move to blow off a player I just recruited. Breakfast this morning cold as usual, or at least since I took a chance on some street food. It's actually pretty good, but I ended up sick for a few days. I've stuck with cereal in the morning since then. Everything is working out on Jet's end. Good management and even a single sponsor will take us a long way. All I can do is focus on the task at hand, finding talent. I put away my bowl once I've emptied it and lock my apartment on the way out. My jacket's hood held up against the rain for most of the day, but my hair ended up soaked in the end. I shake my head dry once I'm inside, much to the annoyance of the guy at the Golden Zone Fire's front desk. The cafe is largely empty on most weekdays, at least before school's let out. With a bit of searching, I find Axel reclined drowsily in the computer chair that he must have wheeled over to the lounge area. I'll bet he'd rather be sleeping at the Crash team site, but Axel said that he didn't have time to meet me any later. He yawns and waves me over. I pull up a chair from a nearby PC and sit beside him. Plenty to choose from when the place is empty. Do they not have umbrellas outside Korea? No, everyone just sprints from place to place if it rains. So anyway, Stant agreed. Yeah, it'll make the next pickup even easier since I actually got another player to point to. I wish Jet would hurry up and ditch her team already. Axel raises his eyebrow and shakes its head at me. She can't do that yet. Jet has a contract. It has to be over soon, right? Why else would she be putting a team together if she wouldn't be able to play on it? They vary, but most contracts last for 6 months or a year. Best case scenario, she'll be free at the end of the month. It makes sense. The Victory Star League won't let anyone with a contract play without their team's approval, but maybe there's no rule against registering ahead of time. Whatever, I'm sure the Jet has figured this out already. Right, anyway, you said you've got the lead on the next player, yeah? Yep, guy's named Reva. Fits in and out the top 8 on the ladder. He's won at least a dozen online tournaments this year. Wow, what race does he play? Here's the best part. He plays all 3. His Terran is the strongest, but he's known to switch between races during a long set. He'll even play random. Reva plays Zerger, Terran, and Protoss. Wow, that sounds too good to be true. But this is where it gets weird. He's never turned up for a tournament in person, only plays online. Some people speculate that Reva is just an alias for a top player. I'm not convinced though. He's got a very specific play style. It's almost like playing against a highly advanced AI, strong mechanically, but only goes for standard macro games. So how am I going to get in touch with him? Other teams have to have gone after a player that good. It won't be easy, but I've got a plan. Not another bet match, please. Hey, it worked, didn't it? No, not this time. Reva's on a mean win streak and online king of the hill, 12 wins in a row. Granted, most of his games have been against foreigners. It's based in Europe, so it's weird hour for us. Point is, you're going to enter tonight. So I beat him, then use that to convince him to join a team. Hold on, I I didn't say anything about beating him. I mean, if you do, I'm not gonna complain. We're going to play an honorable macro game. Reva hates anything that's non-standard. Cheese, rushes, aggressive timings, all-ins, one-base builds, that sort of thing. So we're going to play a slow, economy-based game instead. But if I play a game in the exact style he's used to, won't I get stomped? Maybe, but it's your only chance to get on his good side. Play him, show him off your skill, chat him up, and recruit him. You make it sound so easy. Hey, find your own players if you don't like it. I'm sure there are tons of strategy for scrubs willing to try out. Does have a point. Guess I'm staying in tonight. Fair enough. By the way, what are you so busy with this afternoon? Team League practice. Got to drill a Zerg of ours to snipe the turn, Kane turn ace. The match is half a week away. Until then, practice, practice, practice. That's how we do it. Beneath his easy facade, I can tell that Axel doesn't seem too pleased by the circumstance. Right, then, any final tips against Reva before I go practice for tonight? Yeah, hope you like Mach. It's all I can do not to groan. My favorite. TVT. That means it shouldn't be more than 5 minutes now. Reva just got finished extending his record to 13 wins. I'm already warmed up from practicing all day, so there's no point of loading up a map to drill my micro or anything like that. The only thing I've got to focus on before the game is my build and nerves. Most players, myself included, tend to get a little jittery before a high stakes match. It's a more serious issue at live events with all the lights and cameras and cheering fans, but it can happen in an online setting just as easily. This King of the Hill is broadcast on a commercial live stream. The channel hosting it isn't particularly popular, but exposure can't hurt unless I get beat really, really badly. Looks like the game's getting started. In the pre-game lobby, Reva remains utterly silent, even after I offer a friendly good luck, good luck. Anyway, whatever, let's get this going. So, alright, time to show Reva and everyone else that's watching what I made. I'm watching my scout across the map with a thought occurs to me. If this guy supposedly hates rushes, I should be able to score a pretty easy win against him with one. There's a specific proxy build that works really well on this map, especially against the type of player that Axel describes Reva as. I might risk angering the person I'm trying to recruit though. Still, the game is being broadcast online. If I win, there's a chance I could earn enough credit to find another player anyway. Do I really want to go against Axel's advice? It's only one game, after all. Going for the win. Why should I have to play out some hour-long Snorfest just because Reva doesn't like being cheesed? It's part of the game, whether he likes it or not. That's the reality of it. Whatever, my scouting SUV's path to the bottom corner of my opponent's natural expansion. Well, luck, he won't see me until it's too late. Proxy Marauder is incredibly strong build against anyone who expands early, but I could do even more damage on the off chance that he doesn't wall off entirely. With my early gas and mineral production all devoted to this attack, I find myself in a promising position when my first Marauder surges from the barracks. Command for center. First, he built an expansion before producing even a single unit. Punished. Throw down bunker at the bottom of my opponent's ramp. He immediately follows suit, but he has absolutely no chance to defend without an army to his name. I waltz my Marauder up the ramp just in time which his first Marine scramble from barracks and rush towards his bunker. But before he can get there, my Marauder picks him off. And just like that, the game ends. Reva quit the match without a single ward. That didn't go so bad. Reva went down a little easier than expected though. Does this mean I need to continue with King of the Hill? I haven't considered that. Gotta wrap up conversation with Reva quickly in that case. I open chat, then fire up a message. Nothing. And even after 30 seconds there's still no response. And mentally I try once more. What follows my second... Really? What? What the hell was that? Fine. No, really, I'd go for a rush. But seriously, that's just bullshit. Right there. It's not like I hate playing standards or anything, I just don't like that I'm playing straight into this guy's strong point. I suspect the games begin with a long calm. Reva shows absolutely no sign of early aggression, instead focusing entirely on building a strong economy. Use that breathing room to invest heavily into structures or tank production. My scout reveals that Reva's doing the same thing, just as Axel said. Look like it's going to be a long, drawn-out tank versus tank positioning war. The exact game I absolutely hate this fucking turn. Reva and I split the map in half, one side literally with his bases, defensive structures, and tanks, one side with mine. Not particularly comfortable with the style of play, and I prefer an agile army accompanied by dropships, but it's actually impossible to break up a meching terrain if they have a strong economy. Well, I need to start... Okay. Oh shit, I'm under attack. Reva's inching his tank line towards the center of the map. He managed to find a weak position in my formation. One of my tanks was a bit too far away from the rest and got picked off. Ooh. Nuke in a serious game? Not here. Not here. Sorry, shit, I need to catch it before I lose my army. Boom, there's a ghost. Ooh, I managed to catch him, and then this happens. Oh. Well, GG, I guess. Okay, can't screw this up. I open the chat box and fire off a message. Your macro's too good, lol. For a while, no response, but just when I've given up hope that he'll message me back. Thank you, play well. You made only a few key mistakes. Perfect capitalization in grammar. Whenever anyone does this to me, I feel obligated to fix my typing. Screw it, I'm way too tired after 40 minutes of positional play. Oh well, thanks. I'm actually looking for some pregnant partners, kinda. Kind of, how? I'm starting a team with a few friends. We're gonna try to qualify for Team League. I see. I'm actually looking to pick up another player at the moment. Would you be interested? For almost 10 seconds, nothing. Each second ticking by feels longer than last. But then, I'm willing to discuss the possibility. Oh, awesome. We're gonna meet up at Golden Zone Fire tomorrow afternoon. You're in Seoul, yeah? You know where it is? Oh, you wish to miss in person. Come on, I've already come this far. Keep it together. Yeah, just gonna hang out with team practice a bit. We're nice, I swear. Another pause, this time longer. I find myself drawing closer and closer to the screen in anticipation to Reva's reply. Very well, I'll see you and your teammates at Golden Zone Fire tomorrow. How do you suggest I find you? Okay, look for the foreigner, lol. I'll do so, goodbye. With that, Reva exits our chat and prepares for his next King of the Hill match. Did I do it? Did I recruit our last player? Can I celebrate yet? Nope, better to wait. I mean, he's never been... even been to an event in person before. There's a chance he won't show. I step out of my chair and fall into my bed, simultaneously tired and restless. I shut my eyes. There's no way I'm going to sleep tonight with this hanging over my head. Maybe I should go to Mach. It's not a good idea to drink caffeine stuff listening, but the walk might get my mind off the stress. Since meeting Axel and Jet, the pangs of homesickness haven't been nearly as bad. Should I feel guilt that I only want to update my old friends or my parents now that I've actually got going something my way? Is it better to keep these small victories to myself? When was the last time I even spoke English? I honestly can't remember. I never had to move around or switch schools when I was a kid, but maybe this is the same thing. You find a group and stick with it. Keeping in touch with your old friends becomes too difficult. It could be a good thing, maybe more focus on making my esports career work on what to do than on what so and so switched his major to. I can't help but feel a little insecure. Putting my old life down isn't easy, knowing that I'll have to pick it up back eventually. My thoughts of home fade as the green and white signage comes into view. Then the old man is behind the counter as always, this time restocking the shelf on the side beneath the cash register. I take my usual fare from the refrigerators in the back of the store and step to the counter. The clerk's haggard eyes linger on me for a moment before he returns to his shelf stocking. Just a moment. I'm in a rush, so I answer him with a nod. I let the drinks rest on the laminated counter and turn to take a closer look at the convenience store. It's compact and clean, like pretty much everything else in Seoul. If it has any employees other than the old men on duty, I don't see them. Most stores don't have foreign snacks or drinks aside from their localized variants, and Go Market is no exception for that. I've had to be bold in trying new food. Just I'm about to step towards a bag of strange-looking trail mix. The clerk's voice sounds from behind. You've been in here quite often, haven't you? I turn in surprise. He's standing right at me. I'm not. That's okay, isn't it? He pauses surprised, looking at my language proficiency and then presses right on. We're okay. Those drinks don't buy themselves. What's your name? I'm Mach. Wait a second, that's not right. Strangely enough, I haven't had to share my real name with anyone since I came overseas. It feels unfamiliar on my tongue as I prepare to correct myself. But before I can, the clerk furrows his eyebrows at me. Mach, that doesn't sound like any kind of foreign name I've heard before. How am I in this situation, damn it? It's hard to explain. Do you know what Starcraft is? The elderly cashiers light up in understanding. I've heard of it. You're a programmer then. Yeah, working at least. So that explains your late not shopping trips. How long have you been in Seoul? A little more than a month. I like it here. Good. It's a fine city. You can call him Mr. Yon, by the way. It's good to meet you, Mach. Simply nod and then look away. I'm not particularly good at talking to strangers about anything other than Starcraft. The conversation between us doesn't lead anywhere else, so he starts ringing up my drinks with the bottles back then offered. He smiles. Take care now. Alright. I make my way back to my apartment for an evening in Starcraft and a little sleep. Remind me why we have to meet up here again. I get to play for free at my mom's, you know. And you probably get yelled at if the toilet clogs up too. Sans rolls his eye and pulls out his cell phone. Soon jamming away at some weird puzzle game. What is it exactly that you're always playing on your phone? I'm glad you asked. It's called Pop Pop Safari. It's one of those casual games meant to sucker morons out of their money. You mean, like you. And you're playing it, why? My own way of fighting back against something I hate. I'm going to defeat this game in its entirety without paying a single cent. I don't understand how this stops anything. They're still making money from everyone else, aren't they? He still glances at his phone, and there are a ton of ads all over your screen. Look, you don't understand. It's about the principle. And I wouldn't be playing it in first place if this dude had showed up when he said he would. Admittedly, Reva should be here by now, but I can't do anything except wait for him to arrive. Texted back and forth with Jet a bit earlier today. She's too busy wrapping up things with her contact to make it to the Golden Zone Fire until way later. From the tone of her messages, it seems like talks with the sponsor were going well. With word that I managed to pick out our fourth player, she gave me the go-ahead to divulge her identity to Stunt and Reva. Hopefully, since we still have a coach and practice partners to recruit. I hear the door to the Golden Zone Fire slide open and I glance over, hopeful. Only to find a big spectacled girl walk inside and look around. No dice, where the hell is he? The girl stands at the cafe's entryway for a while, apparently searching for something. Eventually her eyes catch up and then stay on me. Well, looks like she's coming our way. Stunt glances up from his cell phone, and once I turn to address the newcomer, she hesitates before speaking and delivers her words quietly. Excuse me, are you Mach? Oh, hi, that's me. Apologize for the delay. I disembarked. The subway stopped too early. This one of the teammates that you mentioned? She shifts her focus from me to Stunt. His expression is no doubt as perplexed as my own. Is she? Wait a second, are you Reva? Yes, I am. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that you were also... Oh, I just assumed. I trail off quietly. If the mix up other Reva, she doesn't show it. She tilts her head slightly and edges closer to our table. May I sit? Of course, Reva, this is Stunt. He's the team's only Protoss. Sup? He silences the obnoxious bleeps and blops of his phone's game in his pocket and bobs his head at Reva. Reva, huh? Doesn't sound too familiar. You must be some online hero. Stunt, I'm familiar with you. Huh? How? Well, I mean, of course you are. I'm the god of Protoss after all. No, we have matched on the ladder several times. Your play is predictable and unproductive. Whoa, hey, to expand is to give mercy barcodes. Don't be a hater. You should aspire to be to more than rush builds and gimmicks. The meta no longer favors aggressive play. You mean the meta, the overall state of the game, the plays, all that, players, all that. Oop, what did I... Okay. Mac, you didn't tell me this chick was so uptight. Is this the rest of this team? Both of them rest their eyes on me, so expectant now or never, I guess. You won't need to worry about lackluster teammates. Jet is actually the one who's setting this whole thing up. Jet? That's right. With crossed arms, I beam a confident grin at the two of them. Stunt wears a mixture of surprise and excitement, while Reva seems to simply be processing the development. But isn't she on VIP for now? But she's not happy with her practice environment or how much they're paying her, so she's not going to renew her contract at the end of the month. Interesting. Reva pushes her glasses against the bridge of her nose, silent. Stunt looks like he wants to simultaneously called me liar and genius. How exactly did you end up recruiting for Jet? It's not like she has any need for some mediocre foreigner. Mediocre foreigner that slapped down your terrible cheese build stunt, and I'll be the first to admit that I'm lucky to sit where I am. That same is true for the two of you. Practice hard and maybe we can make something of ourselves in this team. Sound good? I'm in no way the captain of the squad, so it feels a little weird to take such an authoritative tone. Still, Stunt backs down and dons a thoughtful expression. Yeah, right. You're right. This could be big. I agree. Your offer had my interest, but word that the player has accomplished as Jet will be amongst us has secured it. I will join. Perfect. She'll be happy to hear it. That leaves only the matter of a sponsor, which Jet is taking care of as we speak, and a coach. We'll obviously want to keep an eye out for anyone else with some talent, but for now, this is our roster. The three of us share a long look at one another before any other thought can come to mind. Stunt ends the silence. Wait a second, I'm going to live with a bunch of girls. This isn't one of those sponsored bait teams, is it? Mach, did you trick me into signing on as a practice drone? This was not part of the future Protoss Boneja's plan. A team with 3 women. Interesting. No, does Jet strike you as the type of person to run a team like that? Also, I thought Reva was a guy. Oh, right. Wait. What is the name of our team? Uh-oh, we haven't picked one yet. This is troublesome. Should not such a thing have been taken care of by now? I really should have gotten around to asking Jet. Stunt shares in Reva's indignation with the gesture towards her. Thank you, we need to get this done already. How about we call ourselves the Lamenting Reapers? What is with this kid? And the terrible team names. I've talked with Jet tonight, okay? All you guys need to do is practice and wait for the announcement. You also need to be prepared to move out. It's a pretty short notice, but neither of them protest, so it hopefully won't be a problem. Stan definitely lives with his mom. It's harder to tell with Reva. She seems to be about my age, maybe a bit younger. It's possible she lives on her own. Very well, as long as the matter is not being neglected. Was there more of importance to go over? Not, I would prefer to return home. PC Bang is an improper practice environment. Pfft, you're just a shut-in, don't deny it. It's written all over you. I'm not. What right do you have? But before she can say anything else, Stan lurches forward, grabs Reva by the wrist, and begins dragging her towards the PCs. If you're going to live in our team, hunters, you better get used to practicing next to other people. Let me show you one of my favorite unproductive builds. This should be good. Hours of games together serve the three of us well. Most professional gamers have a certain level of respect for someone that can put up strong matches, even if they don't have great results. While Stunt and Reva have playstyles as wildly different as their personalities, both are formidable opponents. Golden Zonefire's peak time passed about an hour ago. While it's not nearly as empty as it was when Reva arrived, there's enough room that we have a relatively quiet section to ourselves. Hey Reva, Axel told me that you own all 3 races. Why are you only playing Terran? Terran is the best choice given the current metagame. It's also the only race that earns 100% of its wins. Blunt, but I can't deny her logic, especially when she puts up such a strong match. She's pretty biased when it comes to game balance though. Got to say, Stunt's unit control is ridiculously precise. It's a shame he only put to use with the so-called innovative strategies. Jet's on her way with some good news, or so a text from her says. The only thing that's keeping my mind off her imminent arrival is the game between Stunt and Reva unfolding ahead of me. Stunt's going to proxy 2 gate yet again. Reva scouted out for the last 5 times she's tried it. He's just being stubborn at this point. Still, the map is well suited for the builds, and he's already managed to kill an SUV with some good problematic. Reva's defense is formulaic as always, so it's working, but she's in for a bit of surprise after I sneak a glance at Stunt's screen. Half a dozen probes stream up Reva's ramp and cut off an exit for the 2 Marines kiting a pair of zealots. The Protoss units close in the distance and slice the pair of Marines to pieces, securing massive advantage as Stunt carries into a victory. Stunt pushes away from his monitor and stands, hands on his hips. Easy! Reva doesn't let it phase her. She rotates in her chair and shrugs. Unorthodox and inconsistent, but it worked, I will admit. Stunt basks in the glory of victory for a moment longer before something behind catches my attention. Or his attention. I follow his gaze to find Jet and a man in business suit walking towards us. He seemed to be out of place. He seems out of place dressed so well in a PC Bang. Right. Okay. Costin here on Serious Gaming, signing out. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video.